Hello, hello. Welcome to the Get at Gaming podcast holiday edition. I do not know when this is coming out, but happy holidays. I'm Alex,
I'm Ben.
and this
I'm
is
Michaela.
this is Michaela. Yeah, I didn't know how this is gonna go. This is how it always happens. We're as Kind of Funny likes to call himself, the garbage truck on fire. At least they used to. We're like a FedEx truck on fire.
Yeah,
Um,
we're different with
like
FedEx.
we buy a lot of things. We're not super reliable. So we're FedEx, right? Isn't that reliable?
I hope we have not. I hope we haven't alienated anybody that's a FedEx driver or works for FedEx.
I mean,
Like,
I don't want your
too bad.
business anyway.
Well, there goes that. There goes that.
There goes that
Sponsorship.
FedEx sponsorship. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
it's gone now.
Do you want
Aw,
to send
man.
stuff over with FedEx? Just use UPS instead.
Ouch.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. The UPS driver and I today, we had a nice rapport. I didn't like it because I had to talk to them because I was outside taking my garbage, and then they stopped in front, and they're
Oh,
like, "Hey, how are you?" I was like, "Fine." It's like, "I got something for you," and then he gives me the package, and I was like, "Thanks, have a great day, you too." I was like, "I don't. That's too much interaction for me today. I don't want to talk to you. We don't care about each other. Why are we doing this song and dance? You know."
I
Anyway,
gotta get you out. I gotta get you out in the public more.
the cynicalness of working from home, not leaving my house, playing Hollow Knight and hating it, and then loving it, and then hating it, and then I don't even know how I feel about it anymore. But this is again, happy holidays. This is a holiday episode. So I'm dating myself apparently, talking about that I'm playing Hollow Knight, but I'm dating myself. This is 2014 or whatever. No, we are talking about Final Fantasy X. I recently beat this game. Beat it for the first time, I would say. I played this game on and off for years. I played Kingdom Hearts on PS2, like when roughly like 2002, whatever, when it came out, 2002, 2003. And then my neighbor let me borrow Final Fantasy X. I played a little bit of it, played maybe about a third of it, and I was like, this isn't Kingdom Hearts, and I gave it back. And then I played some of the HD remaster. I played a little more of that and got a little further, and then I kind of stopped because I was like, this is not looking so hot. But so this game was originally released in 2001 for PS2. It was remastered in 2013. It's currently out on pretty much everything. I want to say like PS2, PS3, PS4, Switch, PC. Is it on Xbox?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Because I know it
I
wasn't
don't
on
think it is.
360, but I don't know if it's on like Series X or anything like that, like as a download.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Because like Xbox is weird with Final Fantasy because they have, let's see, they have 13s, like all the 13s. They have 14 now. I think they have the 12 remake or remaster, and then they have 15 and 16. So I don't think they have any like the older. Actually, no, that's not true. I think they have the Pixel remasters now.
So they do have the Final Fantasy XX2 HD remaster for
There.
Xbox One.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So they did. So I have these in my hand right now. I got this one recently for really cheap for $8. This is the PS3 copy of Final Fantasy X-10-2. And then I have my PS2 copy here that I got recently. For how I played, this game was developed by Squaresoft right before the Square Enix that hit 2004, I want to say. This is first fully voice acted Final Fantasy game, first fully 3D game for Final Fantasy that doesn't have like pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff like that. Like Final Fantasy 9 was very much, we're with their little guys here, but our backgrounds are fully like rendered already, so that's why that game looks beautiful just the way that it is. And so everything looks like a painting in the background of that game. So I do want to start off before we get into this. This is a spoiler cast. We're gonna, especially because some of us, I'm not I'm not pointing fingers at specific people, but some of us like haven't played the game in a while. And so because of that, you know, thoughts just move around. And so you might say something that's like, oh, that's actually near the end or what have you. And so
Yeah.
with that, this is a spoiler warning. There are going to be spoilers. If you care about that, go play the game first. Go beat it. Go enjoy it. It's fun. If you don't care about that, why are you here? Why are you listening to a spoiler cast about a game that you never played? But yeah, we're gonna talk about Final Fantasy X. I do want to start here first with this asking which version of Final Fantasy X have you which versions of Final Fantasy X have you played? Oh, we're not talking about 10-2 at all. Which version of Final Fantasy X have you played? Which one did you beat? And overall, how was your experience with it? I'm gonna start with Michaela.
I didn't recently play it until a year and a half ago, and then I played the PS4 HD remaster. And I rate it 10 out of 10.
All right, 10 out of 10. Wow,
Wow.
XFX. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that, but okay, sure.
I love it though. I definitely could get a little bit less of a rating, but I'm biased with it, so
Yeah, that's for sure, and I'm sure we'll get into that here later. But Ben, what are you thinking?
Geez. So I first played it when it came out. I a lot younger, probably about 80, 90 pounds lighter. And I was working at Blockbuster.
oh my god.
And I know it's been a while. And I had a PS2 and I saw this game and I'm like, hey, this looks really cool. Took it home. That night I got off work at like 10 o'clock, I think. I played from 10 till 6 a.m. First night, just plowed through it. So I finished that version, but I own that version. I own the PS4 version. I own the PC version. And then I own the Switch version, which I just got about a year ago, earlier this year.
Yeah.
Super excited. I bought it used, but I had it at one point. So I still have that plus X2 because X2 was digital on Switch. I'm about 70% done on Switch. So
I was hoping that you would say, yeah, back in your Blockbuster day, you bought the game, you took it home, you played it from 10 to 2. I was hoping
oh
that was a thing, but
yeah,
no. I love 10-2 from what I played, what I remember, but I think it was also because just J-pop. But we're not going to talk about 10-2. Today's not 10-2. We're talking about Final Fantasy X. So interesting. So you all have more touchstones, I feel, to the remaster, the Kingdom Hearts 2 faces, than
Yeah, I
the
don't like that
PS2
part.
version. So I played the PS2 version. I played it with an emulator with my disc hit there. I scanned my disc, I copied it onto my computer, and then used an emulator to make it 1080 and all of that. So it looked nice. Overall, it ran fine. There are some hiccups that can happen just with an emulator. Just the way that some of these games just run. Like sometimes they just kind of like, I don't know, like stutter or just like slow down in certain random parts where you're just like, oh, did the game freeze? Did the game freeze? Okay, good. Now it's working. Like just random things like that. And that could be anywhere. That's why you always have to save. And that could be like like during a boss battle. That could be during a random fight. That could just be walking down a hallway. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this game. I don't know what I would rate this as. Personally, because it's fresh in my mind, but it's also fresh enough to where I don't know if I could rate it without being biased.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of like that recency bias of it. And I would say this game is probably, I don't even remember. We have a score, don't we, Ben? Don't we have a thing? I don't even remember.
we use the five. We use the it's 5, 5, you know, 5, 4.5,
Okay, so the 10
4.
point scale of fives.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say this is probably like a 4 or 4.5 for me.
Yeah.
So my big complaint with this game is that it's old. That's just like my main
Yeah.
complaint. Is that it's old and there's certain things that just feel weird and archaic. I do really enjoy the combat. I enjoy overall the voice acting. We'll get into that, but I I I did enjoy my time, and I enjoyed it a lot more. I feel like because I was playing the PS2 version. There's something about the charm of playing a PS2 game as a PS2 game that greatly just enhances the experience compared to playing the HD remaster with the tiny text, the bland text. Just look at like pixel remasters, like the bland text on the pixel remasters, unless you change it. Um, and just overall, the menus just look kind of generic in my opinion compared to the menus in the PS2 versions. Like, and I'm not necessarily talking about like the start menu and stuff like that. Like, I'm talking about like battle menus. Like, here's the square where
Mhm.
this is. It's just a white box. Like, kind of like how we are right now. Like, it kind of feels like that versus the, like how I don't know dynamic it felt maybe for the PS2 version. But granted, like they're adding text and they're remastering it in the new versions versus it's probably like a bitmap or some or it's some sort of like GIF or something in or texture in the PS2 version. So that's probably why like one looks different than the other. One was probably just easier to just type. So but cool, awesome. Well, that's the pocket now. So I do kind of want to talk a little about the story. Again, this is a spoiler cast. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do this. Michaela, you give us a rundown of the story, a basic synopsis on the Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, she's never coming back now. This is it. This is it.
Basic synopsis, like 5 points of like this happened, this happened, this happened. We're done.
Oh, ugh, trying to think about every little part of the story because I played it last May of
Yeah.
2024. You have Sin.
Mm-hmm.
You got Sin coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you get introduced to all the characters. You have Sin who's coming in and attacking when you come and see Titus and Orin, and you're like, what the heck's going on? So that kind of builds up the story in the beginning. You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to like Yuna, so we got religious aspects with the characters, and then you get introduced to Waka. How do I word all this? And then we get introduced to Riku, so then
Mm-hmm.
we get, into the story of racism
Mm-hmm.
and religion tied into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting tied into dreams and conformities, and I don't know how else to go into the
And then
story.
and then you beat Sin. The end.
Yeah, and he beats Sin,
You
and
become a ghost boy.
everybody changes, and then
Yeah.
you see Titus at the end, and you're really questioning if he was a dream or if he is real.
He's swimming in
Or
the life stream.
yeah, so yeah, that's kind of a hard story to like break down in like
Yeah.
a couple, like 2
Yeah.
minutes, but
Okay.
I like it. It is a complex
It
story
is.
though when
It
you start
is.
really digging,
Overall,
start really really digging into it.
like it definitely is a. I want to say Back to the Future. It's a time travel story more or less. It's a fish out of
Mhm.
water story. But like when you find out the secrets of the time travel story, it's like, oh, it's not a time travel story at all. It's more of a fantasy, a Final Fantasy, if you
That's
will.
what I thought in the beginning too.
Um,
I thought it was time travel because when
yeah,
you see Orin right in the beginning, I'm just like, but Jekt and all them are all there. So that's when I thought I got into time travel, and I was like, no, it's not time travel theme
yeah,
though.
yeah. There's weird stuff about that. But yeah, Ben, did we miss anything? I mean, I know we did, but
We missed
No,
a
no.
lot.
I
no,
think
that's the game. That's the game.
I I really do think you nailed it on the head for being like such a short. I mean, it and I always talk to people. People are like, "Oh, games don't have stories," and I use this as an example of like, okay, so you got everything, including like, family issues, and everything that you said. So But yeah, I think you did a really good job of explaining it, especially
Oh,
being
I did forget the nasty man Seymour comes in. Forgot about him to mention that guy.
Yeah, that's right. He comes in. He's Rick Moranis pops up. He's like, "Oh, geez, I don't know. I don't know if I should marry you, Yuna." And then he's like, "Feed me, Seymour." No, never mind. It's a different thing. Oh, geez, Audrey, I don't know if I should feed this plant. Um, but yeah, Seymour. I hate Seymour. Did I even
I
put
do
Seymour on the
too.
list? I don't even know if I did.
he's on the yeah,
He
he's on
is
the
on the
villain
Okay,
villain
list.
okay,
part.
good. Okay, good.
Can
I
I just
have
say he's like I just want to say that I can't say what I think of Seymour. He literally is like the Bill Lumbar of like, you know, from like Office Space.
yeah.
Like that's who he is. Like he's oh gosh,
No,
I
I
don't know.
hate him as a character. Like, he's not even a good bad character. I just don't like him.
Yeah, he's very like he's way too calm to be a villain, I feel. Um
Hmm.
in all of his moments he's like rarely flustered except for like later on, but yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's kind of like when you think, "Hey, I want to watch Batman," and you watch the one with George Clooney. That's what you're
Hmm.
getting. You're getting like you're getting Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. That's what you're
Yeah, he's
getting.
really boring as a villain. That's okay, that's my main complaint. I know I gave it a 10 out of 10, but that is my main complaint is that he is not a good villain. He is pretty boring.
Yeah.
He is boring. I mean, but at the same time, like he is the villain, but he's also not the villain. There,
Yeah, he's like the stepping stone to the main villain.
but
Yeah.
but like even looking at my list here, quote unquote villains, I feel like there's more villains than just Seymour. Like
Mhm.
um, there's just everyone who is unsent that just pretends to just live. And
Mhm.
you meet those people, like even the good ones, like you just meet those people and you're like, oh, why are you here? And then they start glowing magically. They're like, oh yeah, I'm actually dead. And you're like, what? And so then you send them, and then so whatever, because like I don't remember, I did this, I don't know if you did. Like you can fight that one person, the lady who you see, um who has the summons, who you fight with her one-on-one with summons,
Yeah.
and then at the end you can find her again, you can get like the final summons and stuff, and
Mhm.
you can fight her. And at the end of that whole battle, as soon as you do it, she's like, there's nothing I can do now. And then she starts glowing. She's like, oh, by the way, I'm unsent, you want to
Yep.
send me? And it's like, okay, sure. So like, can everyone just mask their power level of being unsent? Because like,
Yeah, they never, like, explain that.
I also don't know if it's like, is it a will to live? Is it greed? Like we don't really.
Oh. There could be different things because if you think about it like IRL, when you have spirits,
Mhm.
they're still attached to something before they completely leave the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's kind of what it seems like, especially with like that person, for example, was, I'm here to help the people like actually defeat sin instead of just,
Mhm.
do the cycle of sin. Um
Mhm.
but I like how we already got to see more in all this, but that's great.
I'm sorry, but I
No.
hate him. Like,
I hate Seymour too. He's very just creepy. I don't know how to describe it.
no, he is. It's like
Um
he's like animatronic or something. I don't know what it is. I don't.
he has a
He's like a robot.
he has the most creepy I don't know who does his voice, but he sounds like
Oh, I
this.
can't remember. I looked it up before. I don't think he was really known for anything
Yeah.
else, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Yeah, he just has just a soft spoken, disgusting voice. Um,
Yeah.
and like I don't like him, but at the same time, like the game, it's good. Like if you don't like a character that's bad, then the game did its job. Like
I agree.
even if it is a bad character. So example
Mhm.
I always think of, um, I'm going to say something that no one's going to understand, but I'm going to talk about like Fate Stay Night or something like that. There's a character named Shinji Maoto, um, and he is like just lack of a better term, he's just like an incel, and like he's just very just annoying and scared, but then like when confronted, he'll just be the biggest jerk and just like try to kill people or what have you. And it's like there's so many people who are like, I hate this character, he's so bad, he's awful, they need to get rid of him, or it's like, no, then that means that character is good, because if you hate them this much to want them not in the story, then that means that they did their job, the writers did their job, the character designers did their job. And so like, yeah, like we hate Seymour so much, that means that this game is good, right?
Mhm.
So
I mean, they did a good job, and he's not even like the main bad guy in here, but he's good enough to be like, oh my gosh, this guy again.
yeah,
You
what's
know?
the main
Yeah.
bad guy? Catholicism. But anyway, so I guess let's go into a little bit of the main characters here first. So we'll go into like so like Titus and all of that. So I mean, Titus, as we said, like Titus is like he's a boy, he's a good boy. James Arnold Taylor, right? James Arnold
Yep.
Taylor. Yeah. Johnny Test himself.
Yep.
Other things obviously, but Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's what I wanted to say.
Too many. He does a lot.
All I thought of was Johnny Test immediately. Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, he's great. You got to meet him, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I met him the day before I finale'd Final Fantasy X.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
And
wow.
we talked about it, and he wanted to talk about the finale so bad. I was like, no, James, I'm not finishing it until tomorrow. So he told me we need to meet again, which
Mhm.
he's in the LA area, I believe. So I'm trying to see if I can meet him at another con
Yeah.
so we can talk about the finale.
Nice.
But God, he was one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I definitely got my money's worth, because I think he took like 30 pictures of us together on my phone.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, like a lot.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's cool. I always love it when voice actors are, I don't know, like humble, I guess is the word. Like,
Oh, he's so
yeah,
humble. So humble.
yeah. And so it's really cool when like they legitimately enjoy their work as well. Like, granted, like you
Mhm.
said, he's done so many things, but like obviously Final Fantasy X is a huge one, so he gravitates to that more and he remembers more of that probably.
I think so, because everybody was there for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So he was happy that anybody was there for Final Fantasy X.
It's like when I saw what's his name? Now I can't think of his name. Lupin. But he's also like I think he's like Obito or something like that. He's like random things in like Naruto.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this.
Yeah, and so like I got to see him and I was like, here's my Lupin book, can you sign this? And he was really happy about it. But like everyone else is there for like other things. Like he's also Kukulon in Fate Stay Night, so he's Lancer. And
okay.
so like he's in he is a lot of things, but then when you do go up to that voice actor and you're like, hey, here's this thing that I like that people aren't talking to you about like right now, and then they get
Mhm.
really happy about it. It's like I have the picture somewhere. I used to have it as a thing I could just add, but I got to see Billy West like back in like 2014, maybe 2013, and I had him sign. It might have been 2014 because he said the shut up and take my money. But he signed my copy of the Futurama video game for PS2. That game's worth a lot of money now. And
Oh, yeah.
he was like so nice. He let me take a picture with him. He signed the thing, and he was like, you brought something like very eclectic or something like that is like his wording for it. Cause I was like, yeah, I didn't know what to bring you. Like everyone's bringing you, you know, Doug or yeah, Futurama stuff. I'm like, who has this game? And apparently no one really has this game because the game is like $300 or something crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good game, but it's cool again to just see when voice actors are appreciative of their work.
Mhm.
And so you can definitely feel that in Titus's character and the way that the voice acting is. I keep talking, but I do want to say one more thing. The laugh scene isn't bad. in context, the laugh scene is not bad. The ha
Which
ha ha ha
laugh scene. I heard
laugh.
laugh
I
scene.
said laugh. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
love the laugh scene, and
It's
actually, when I
good.
talked to James about that, he told me why it was done that way. Like,
Yeah.
they wanted it to be out of pocket.
Yeah.
They didn't want it to be serious, like a serious moment. And he talks about like the other moments too, where like Tita says like some dumb stuff out of like during a serious moment, and it's just that was the creative direction for it. That was the first question I asked him because I was legit wondering.
Macarena Temple.
I called it that too. So me and Titus are like the same person. Like before he called it Macarena, I also said Macarena. And then when he does the I
Yeah.
laugh so hard.
Same here. Yeah, that was great. I definitely love that. Ben, what's your connections to Titus? What do you like about Titus? We're talking too much.
No, you're fine. I think, you know, you're right. Like the corny laugh scene, it makes me feel like it's a Disney Pixar movie. It's very cheesy like that. There's a lot of times where in the game, I love when he's in like a crowd of people and he says something, and they all like turn around and look at him, and he's like, "Oh, I got too close to sin," you
Yeah,
know.
that's his
Instead of
excuse
saying
for
like,
everything.
I love
Yeah.
the excuse.
"Yeah, I said something stupid, so therefore I'm gonna twist it around." Um, Yeah, I thought the first time I'm watching it though, when I played it back in 2001, I wasn't thinking it was corny. I was like, this is like the coolest thing I've ever seen in a video game. Because before this, the only thing I was playing was like, you know, Tekken Tag and some of these other games that came out on PS2. Um, but like that, watching him do this, no matter now, I think I'm like, oh my gosh, this is cringy, sometimes, but it's still kind of like a fun thing though.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. It is cringy. It feels like it's supposed to be cringy, but at the same time, in context, it all makes sense. Like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be very much come on, you have to emote. So let's just emote as ridiculous as we can to laugh. And so
Yeah.
and it does its job very well. We're gonna talk about Yuna here next. I don't know Yuna's voice actress. I don't know who that is, but I do want to say though about Yuna, I loved it at the end. So at the beginning, during that scene, I think is that when he teaches her how to whistle?
Try to remember if he teaches her how to whistle right at that moment.
Like around there, maybe.
It's around that time,
It's pretty
yeah.
close, yeah.
Like because they're on that hill, and it's like right before they walk to that part of the hill where then they do the ha ha ha. Because I think it's like right before that. But I love it at the end because she can't whistle throughout that game. Right at the end, once Tidus is gone and everything, she can actually whistle. And
Oh, that made me cry.
I was like, this is so good. This is good
That made me
storytelling.
cry so
Yeah.
hard.
The game is great. But Yuna, how we feel about Yuna, I don't even remember. How old is Yuna supposed to be? Like 16?
I want to say she's 17 or 18 because I think she's a year older than Titus.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think you're
I
right.
could be wrong, but
Okay. Wait,
I know she's like right on that threshold of becoming an adult.
we have a Square Enix thing, and they always give ages in these things.
Oh, do they really?
Or
Well,
they
maybe you
did. They
should-
did for Kingdom Hearts.
If Seymour's age in there's probably going to be some legalities there. Because I don't. If she's 17 and he's like,
Makes them gross.
He's
nastier.
like 30 something. Yeah.
I hate him.
This is just gonna be.
It just reminded me why I hate him more.
Seymour is bad. Yeah, no, it doesn't say her age. It just says daughter of the High Summoner Braska, honest and determined. Yuna embarks on a pilgrimage to attain the final Aeon and defeat Sin. Yuna is learning the mystical arts of summoning Aeons, powerful spirits of yore. Yeah, that explains it. I like her a lot. I think she's cool. Overall, it's interesting. It's always interesting to see a younger character. I mean, they're all young relatively now. Back when we were playing it, like when I first played it, oh man, these people are so much older than I am. But it's always cool to see a younger character in like media who like shouldn't have to have a brave face, shouldn't have to be subject to this type of responsibility, still do it anyway, and do it very well.
Mhm.
And so I do appreciate that about Yuna. Like, she knows she has a pilgrimage, she knows she has to do this. It's unfortunate that she has to do all of this, but she knows that like what happens at the end. She
Mhm.
knows like what's supposed to happen at the end of the pilgrimage, like how, you know, people like you normally die, or like someone transforms into something else, because it's just a never ending cycle of like who becomes Sin, who what. You'll have the calming, I forget, calming age, I forget what that's called, but basically like for a little bit, cool, Sin's gone for 10 years, oh, Sin's back. You have that, but it's very nice to see a character, yeah, who has responsibility, upholds that responsibility, and um I don't know, just actually likable as well. That's another thing. She's not snotty, she's not anything like that. Like, but it's also sad in that case because she feels like she has to do all these things. But um yeah, I don't know. I like her a lot. She's one of my favorite characters in this game, just hands down. Just because of her journey, everything. She feels like the actual main character of this game. Like
Mhm.
Tidus is us, whereas I feel like yeah, Yuna is the actual main character of the game.
Mhm.
It's kind of like with Final Fantasy VII, where like you can make an argument that Cloud is us, but Tifa is really the main character of that game. Just because everything reacts and happens around Tifa.
Mhm.
Whereas yeah, like Yuna is definitely the main, and yeah, my favorite. So how you all feel about Yuna?
Love her. She's
Yeah,
such a
she's
girl
great.
boss. She's so good. Like,
Stay
she
away
carried me
from
in
the
my game.
summoner.
Never. Um, no, I love her. And then that she was like the main reason why when I was talking about doing, the steps of the story earlier with the religious conformity, she's definitely the prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like she didn't have to do it,
No.
but she did because she wants to do what her dad does.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she does that, and then, like I said, she carried me on my team. She learned white magic and black magic. I killed
Same.
everything with Yuna. Like, she was so good. Um, and I feel like back in the day too, and it still kind of happens, but I feel like back in the early 2000s, it was worse. Like, magic users, healers, summoners, like, really got crap for being in those categories
Mm-hmm.
and not like, a frontline fighter like
Yeah,
Tidus or Orin or whatever. But yeah, I don't agree with those people at all. She's such a good character.
she is. She is such a
Yeah,
good
she's
character.
very well. If you use the spirit grid properly, she's very well rounded.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Um, Ben, any other things to interject about Yuna, likes, dislikes, etc.?
no, I have my favorites on this list. We haven't got there yet. So
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Um, we got Waka, voiced by John DiMaggio, doing a weird voice for John DiMaggio. Speaking of, Futurama earlier, we got Bender.
I hate Waka.
I have a love-hate relationship with Waka. I enjoy, like, he Waka is a racist.
Straight up.
But he learns near the end,
No.
a little bit at the end. He finally understands that
Little
he's
bit.
wrong. He finally understands that he's wrong, and that's more I can ask than like other people who like won't even move like at all, especially in this type of day and age. Like
Yeah.
or for that age in that game. I'm not trying to talk about real politics, but like yeah, in that game for sure. Like it's just like he's set in his ways, and it's a fault of the religious conformity. It's a fault of everything
Mhm.
around him. It's not necessarily his fault, but he does kind of
Brainwashed.
finally move out of that ish. If the game continues, if 10-2 continues, I don't know anything about 10-2 really. I would
Mhm.
hope to see him hanging out with Albed. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that is a future that would happen. Especially after all these traumatic events and things happen. Like people can have a change of heart, and I'm really hoping that that's Waka. I feel like I'm just wishing on something that doesn't really exist, but I like Blitzball. I like Waka's Blitzball. I like him using his little volleyball and kicking people, and he was my guy who could use darkness, and he could just make people not hit me. Um yeah, Waka. He's Waka. Waka Waka.
And later in life, once I discovered who the voice was, the voice actor, I was like, how cool would that be in the middle of the game if he sings making pancakes like Jake did from Adventure Time?
Oh my god.
That would be great. Can we
I'm
rework that
sure
into the
someone's
next?
done that.
Can we rework that into the next upgrade of this game?
Oh yeah, just like I mean, I'm sure there's mods where it's just like, oh, they just take it and just put Bender's voice over him. Put yeah, Jake, what's his face?
Probably.
Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War.
Yep.
Yeah, so many things. So Michaela, you hate Waka.
I do hate Waka. I thought his apology wasn't that good.
No, I don't think it
It was
is.
like 2 seconds long. I didn't forgive him. I was
I
like,
feel like that's a
"Okay."
fault of the game though, trying to wrap things up.
I think it was too, cause like, you talk to him on Sid's airship real quick, and he gives, like, that one line
Mm-hmm.
apology, and I was just like, "Yeah, that's not good enough."
Yeah. Like I really do feel like the game is like, listen, we got a game right now.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I was just like, "Yeah, I don't like Waka."
Yeah. He's a fun comic relief until you start hearing him be more racist.
Yes, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like that estranged like family member who you hang out with, and then when you grow
Oh
older,
my
you're like, oh, okay. That's what you're saying?
Yep.
But he's still in your party for some reason. He still comes to your birthdays. But yeah, mechanically again, I do want to say I enjoy Waka for that aspect. He was one that I had in a lot and switching out a lot.
You need him. He gives you the long range
He does,
Yeah.
especially
attacks.
early game.
Yep.
Yeah, you need that long range for sure. Um, Lulu, what we think about Lulu?
Love her.
Yeah.
I think she's even better once you get to like that mid level of the game. She gets like really, really powerful.
Mhm.
Um, and like for black magic, she's just spot on, you know. And then when she starts learning other things like bio and some of these other ones, um, but yeah, I feel like all these characters here have some reason to be in the game because some of their skills you have to use at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you really can't just rely on like three people. You have to rely on the whole team.
Yeah.
But playing other games now where they have a magic caster, she to me was always the strongest. Um, and also she seemed to be like the only real like level-headed one in the group.
Yeah.
She was definitely the leader of the group, even though I mean Yuna's supposed to be the leader, but it was kind of like the behind the scenes leader of like, hey, we should probably do this, and Yuna's like, yeah, we should do this, and then so they
Yeah.
continue. I enjoy Lulu a lot. Mechanically, again, I think she is great. I used her so much in the beginning that the snow speeder thing or whatever, where you like get a choice between like who gets to be with you. I had a conversation with Lulu because I guess I used her enough times, and so she
Mhm.
was with Titus, and they got to talk for a little bit, and that was cool to see. I don't remember what the talk was about. I just remember it was cool because I know like you could get different people depending on imaginary
I got
number.
Orin.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I remember that being really cool. Yeah, and then again, mechanically she's good. Later game, I didn't use her as much because we have Yuna, where I made my Yuna eventually, have like the celestial weapon. So everything costs 1 MP. Um, I had her have Ultima. I had her have Holy. She knew a bunch of things, so it's just like, yeah, this is my magic user now. I never have to switch to Lulu, generally. But yeah, it's good to have that level-headed person in the group, especially to even out Waka. Because like originally with the Guardians, like it's I want to say was Lulu the first Guardian and then Kimari and then Waka? How did that I don't know how the
I feel like
Guardians, or was
I
it
feel like
Kimari first?
I feel like Kimari was there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they ever actually said, because we got kind of introduced to Kimari and Lulu around the same
Mhm.
time in the game.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not sure
Because
either.
Lulu has more experience with the previous people,
Yeah, cuz she
like who
was a
did Yuna's
Guardian.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kimari was like assigned to Yuna,
Yeah.
That's
like
right.
from the beginning. I think they
Yeah.
were together since she was a kid, but I can't remember if I'm remembering that
No,
100%.
I think you're right. Yeah, I am remembering that now as well. Well, speaking of Kimari, I guess let's talk about Kimari here a little bit. The Ronzos. Um, it's interesting to see, again, this game is just a lot of religious conformity. It's a lot of expectations of society. It's a lot of racism. But there was the thing where Kimari is looked at as the worst Ronzo, essentially. Like he
Mhm.
has a broken horn. He gets bullied by those other two losers. And then I cast Doom on him and then he dies. And so like I remember doing that. But yeah, Kimari is interesting. He's a person of a few words initially, but then as you play the game more, Kimari seems to open up more, not just to Tidus, but I feel like to everyone. And especially I feel after, like before or after, like that whole interaction with the other Ronzos and seeing how poorly he's being treated, and then having that um, vindication of like fighting and beating them, and finally being recognized as like, hey, you are a true Ronzo.
Mhm.
And so um I like that. I would say mechanically, I do not like Kimari. Kimari was the worst, second to worst character. There's a tie, unfortunately. One of the worst characters who I played with. Kimari was okay in the beginning, where you had the absorbs. You could do like I don't know if they're called rages. I forget what they're called. I think it's called rage in Final Fantasy VI. And I just recently beat that. But basically, like where you absorb enemy skills, and then you can use those enemy skills on other
Oh, it's
people.
called something else. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I can't remember either, but I remember using that initially. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I made Kimari be kind of like a black magic person, so I could have like two of those for long range attacks, and then you have Waka doing his blitzball or whatever. But yeah, Kimari, story heavy wise, he has things, but I feel like they're more tied to him specifically, and then they kind of just get wrapped up.
Yeah.
He, in the grand scheme of things of the story, like yes, he's there to protect Yuna and be with her and help out, but he really is kind of window dressing, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like he just kind of is there. He has things to say, he has things to do, but if he wasn't there, we could just have Lulu be the Kimari essentially. You could erase the Ronzo like whole side quest, not even side quest, main story part, and just not even have that in this game if you really wanted to. But hammering in expectations of societies in this game, especially because games are designed for children, sure. This game's designed, for a little bit older, but like sometimes in order to make a story or symbolism or some understanding stick, you have to hammer it in. And so that's why we have all these sort of examples of these things throughout the game. So yeah, maybe it is needed for that, but in my opinion, he's cool. He's kind of useless as a character as far as mechanically, but like I don't feel like much would be lost without him. I don't know, and maybe I'm just saying something different. But what do you guys think?
I needed Kimari because Tidus's defense is terrible. So they got integrated together on my sphere grid, and then both of them were perfect for me after
Nah.
that.
My Kimari was so bad. He was just an afterthought.
Oh, I used him a lot. I used everybody like probably equally in my playthrough.
Okay. How do you feel about Kimari though, as far as like an actual character? Like, do you agree with me a little bit, or how you feel?
No, what you said is pretty spot on. I feel like the reason why they threw him in, like he probably doesn't need to be in the story, but I feel like he's just another example, like the other characters where there's somewhere they're not supposed to belong or they're not accepted. And I feel like he's a good example of that because, he's like Lulu's guard, or not Lulu, Yuna's guard. And I feel like he's supposed to be like put together and perfect and stuff to be a part of her, like bloodline, I guess you could say, in religion. But then he's not. Like he's not even accepted by his own kind.
Yeah.
So I like him in the game and not being thrown in there. Because I kind of look at it a little more in depth like that. But I completely agree with what you said. If he wasn't in the game, it wouldn't be missing anything if he wasn't added. Like I think it'd be fine either way, to be honest.
Yeah, like I feel like you could have implemented some of the Kimari things with Riku instead, because like a lot of, I don't know, like I don't know, maybe I'm just saying things now, but I feel like there are enough similarities there to where like if Kimari was missing, we still have Riku who can kind of fill in some of those gaps with family and expectations and all of that, and different races interacting with other things, and being weaker than others, all that. But yeah, I agree. Ben, what do you think?
I mean, it was cool when they had that first opening where where he challenged Tidus. That was like the cool moment for me. He was just kind of there. But I don't think I did what you guys did where I properly developed him. And when we get to the spear grid and stuff, we could talk. It really is like very strategic on how these characters you level them up and you do these things. Um, I mean, he was there. He was a strong character when I need somebody to take a hit, to be honest, because his defense was really good.
Yeah.
Um, and I used him rarely. I would probably say Titus, Orin, and Waka, I probably used the most in my playthroughs. But
Same here.
this game's so great because you can come up with different strategies and everyone finishes the game in a different type of way. So like, people have this strategy to like move people into different spear grids to level them up faster, get different properties. Like I know my Titus had black magic and white magic together, and he was pretty strong by like where he was at. So, but other for like Kamari, man, he could take hits and still be alive. So
yeah, definitely. I don't know. I was gonna go somewhere with that, and then I got distracted. That's what happens with a long podcast. Let's talk about Daddy. I mean, Aaron. Daddy. Sorry, Daddy.
I was like, which daddy?
Not Seymour. But let's talk about Aaron. How cool he is. Aaron's really cool. I like Aaron's whole journey.
Mhm.
Just being there, having the promise with Jack to like, yeah, I'll watch after your kid, sure. And actually, I don't know, being a better surrogate father to the child than the actual father. I feel like Aaron is kind of like there to, you know, he is there on the favor of Jack to do this, but Aaron actually treats Titus like a person, I feel, whereas like Jack definitely would not. And
Mhm.
you've seen it in the previous cutscenes, or just yelling at him, being like, "Oh, that kid, he's a crybaby," like
Yep.
that kind of stuff. But um, Aaron was my boy. I use Aaron a lot. Um, his skills and his specials were needed a lot for um, doing like defense downs for magic, physical attack downs, like that kind of stuff. I use that constantly on boss fights and things like that
Yeah.
to get through, because he was necessary for those kind of things. I will say the where are those called? Now I'm thinking it's not limit. Where are they called? With the limit attacks.
Oh.
I can't think of the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, this is annoying. Um, whatever limits are called, like he his are kind of cool. I didn't get all of them because I feel like I didn't get all of them for a lot of these characters, because I actively tried to avoid using those special attacks. Just because the way I played this game, and we'll get into combat later. I switched out everyone. Every single person was always in for enough to get AP. So like if that means they're gonna stand there and I hit triangle for them to just defend, they'll just defend. And then I'll swap them back out to someone else. And so that's why I felt like overall I felt like my team was balanced, and yes, somehow Kimari was still left over. But maybe it's the way I did his sphere grid, because I just didn't care about him in that aspect. But with Aaron, yeah, he was a big help. I enjoy a lot. I don't know why it caught me off guard, but the ending where he starts glowing and you're like, wait, you're unsent? Huh. I don't know why that caught me off guard. I really don't, because I feel like I should have seen that from a mile away. And then it made Kingdom Hearts 2 make more sense, because
Mhm.
I knew
Yeah.
Aaron way more in Kingdom Hearts 2 than in Final Fantasy 10. And so like understanding like, oh, Aaron is unsent. He's here to finish all this, help Titus do this, and then he can finally go away. Um
Mhm.
but yeah, what do y'all think about Aaron? What do you think about this guy?
I
I
mean, I'll say,
compare him to Piccolo from DBZ.
ooh, that's good.
So I love Orin because I love Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. So when I really played Final Fantasy X, I saw so many similarities
Mm-hmm.
between Piccolo and like Gohan and then Orin and Tidus.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of sold on him from the get-go.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's a good comparison for sure. And then that kind of goes in the DBZ abridged is one thing, but like that's kind of goes in the same thing that I was saying, where like, yeah, he does feel like a surrogate father to Tidus. Like, I mean, with
Mhm.
Gohan, like, you know, Goku was gone for a year while he was going up there in Snake Way and running over there, training with Kai and all of that, and then being trained by Piccolo, and then eventually just becoming the cool second dad who watches his kid.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I really do like that and appreciate that. Ben, you had something to say?
Yeah, what got me is the first time that he really came into battle. First off, he looks like a Ronin samurai with his arm in the
Mhm.
sling and his bottles of wine on the side. And then the minute a battle starts, he moves his arm out puts the whole thing down. I mean, he looks like a Ronin samurai, and after playing many hours of Ghost of Tsushima, he definitely is. And I think he is like that badass character. Bonus, when I saw him in Kingdom Hearts 2, I was like, you know why they put him in this game right here in this part? Because that is how awesome he is. Um, I think almost every fight I used him, he was
Mhm.
pretty strong by the end of the game for me, like super strong. Um, I loved the character. I loved how like he was always serious, but there was these little parts where he would let that serious down. I heard him laugh like once or twice, you know. Um, but I agree with like the both of you. Like you explained that him like Piccolo, that's like perfect. Like Piccolo's like serious 99% of the time. There's that small little thing there. Um, you know, uh, so I see that there and like him being like not just to him, but like even to Yuna. Because if you notice, there's a couple times in the game where she was trying to like do something and he would like speak up, you know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But if you ever noticed, no one argued with him, including when Waka kind of did and was like, I should probably back down, you know,
Yep.
like he knew what was up.
He's one of the legendary Sanin or whatever, essentially.
Yeah,
Like he's part of the legendary, Braska, Jecht, and Aaron. Like they are the boys. They're the team. That's kind of how I view those three. Is like it's like Naruto with
Yeah, it is like
Orochimaru,
Naruto.
yeah, and all
yeah.
that.
But if you ever notice, like even when they would go to places, they're like, oh, it's like, Sir Aaron, like everywhere, right? No one recognized anybody else in this group, but him.
Mhm.
They knew who he was,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So, um, I loved it, and I especially when he was in Kingdom Hearts 2 because you could do those not to get on Kingdom Hearts 2, but just how awesome he was in that game as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
doing those
I
trigger action command things are
oh
really
gosh,
cool.
that was awesome. Uh, I will say, like, since then, I mean, we've had many, characters in Final Fantasy, but he has been my favorite for a long time.
Hmm.
Um, out of any of the games I've played, he is like resonates with me of like the character I like. Um, so
Cool. We got Riku. Um, I like Riku. Too bad I hate her as a playable character. She's the one who is probably worse than Kimari for me. I really enjoy her special skill where she can like combine the things or like use the special potions like the all bed potions and things like that. I eventually got that for Yuna, and so I didn't need Riku anymore. And so
Oh.
Yuna was able to do that stuff. So Riku was only out there just to get her AP and leave. um, I never really combined things. I never really combined like grenades or whatever to throw. Um, I only used her when I had to. As a character, it's cool to see. She's the first, besides Aaron, like she's the first character that Titus meets on the journey.
yeah,
Mhm.
With Titus drowning and being picked up on the all-bed ship and talking to all of them, and then eventually meeting up with her again, hanging out, and Waka being loudly racist about, man, these all bed are awful, am I right? And then she's like, and just pretending to be that she's not all bed. Even though like I feel like the things that she knew, it's like if Waka wasn't stupid, he would have figured it out, first of all. But Waka's just stupid. I'll say that, yeah. But with Riku, it's cool to see her with her, if she was earlier game and I could like utilize her better, then I feel like her different skills and specials and all of that could be used better, and could develop better. But I just didn't use her really, and so with that, like her attack power and stuff was really weak, I feel, compared to others. Like she really was just the, hey, let me combine some items and throw them type person. Or you can teach her black magic, I guess, if you really wanted to, but I'm not gonna waste the spheres for that. um But with her and like with her is it her uncle Sid,
Yeah,
father Sid, uncle Sid, father Sid.
I thought it was her. I thought it was her. Well, because her and Yuna were cousins.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Yuna calls Sid uncle.
okay, so maybe it's the father.
That's what I thought,
Yeah,
but it could also be a weird situation where they are both cousins and then
yeah,
it, like Sid's both their uncles. I don't know. They never really
yeah.
deciphered that
There might have
either.
been a throwaway line, but I don't remember.
I think it's her dad.
Yeah, I'm thinking that now too. Sid was cool to see being on I almost said the High Wind. I don't know what that I don't know what the ship was called, but being on the ship, being with Sid, being that futuristic thing, flying around, hanging out, seeing the all bed from a different perspective. It's always cool to see different perspectives and types of culture and stuff, and this obviously was no different with that, especially because the game is trying to actively, you know, make us conform to like, oh, all bed, they're all bad, like they're all awful people. But then once you start to see some of them and actually like interact with them, you're like, what are you saying? um so it's always, it's cool to see like the real sides of the stories and the real people, and see like, oh, these people are not bad, you're all just liars, you're all just scared of change, especially with the all bed who do who use I forget what the technology is, but basically they're using technology
Oh,
instead of
Machina.
Machina. Yeah, they're using the live stream. It's Final Fantasy 7 again. They're using Machina and using Machina weapons instead of you know, naturally letting life progress and not taking resources from the land essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is as well. And again, we'll go into this in here in a second, but besides just religious conformity and against religion and stuff, it really is reject monerism, reject the future, stay hidden in your past, stay hidden in your past, just stay in your zone with your religion, just believe everything that that says, and you'll have a good time, right? No, so it is cool to see like with the ship, like it is being run obviously by like Machina and stuff, because nothing that the others could do, like the summoners or what have you, all those other people, there's no way they could do anything like that with natural resources or like any sort of non-technological um ways, unless they're just writing their summons, unless they're just writing their aeons places, which is another thing. Why don't they do that? Why don't they fly the eagles to Mordor or whatever? You know, why don't they fly the aeons? Yeah, that's my
I mean,
thing.
that's a good question.
Probably because it can only stay for so long. Because I bet Yuna just has to like be stuck.
Oh,
Um,
probably.
but yeah, what do you guys think about Riku?
Yeah,
I mean, I like Riku. I'm not obsessed with her though. Like exactly what you said, like combat wise, she's okay. I actually used her a lot because I had her pretty stacked when I did my playthrough, and she actually kicked Jack's butt a lot for me
Mm-hmm.
with the item mixing. So that was helpful. But I feel like she shines more in 10 too. Like she's not in the spotlight as much in Final
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy 10. So it's like you can't really get completely attached to her in my opinion because they just don't give her like her big moments,
She really is just attached to,
you know.
well, Yuna,
She's like her
and
support.
she's Yuna support, but then she's also too attached to just the Albed situation, and so she doesn't really get her
Yeah,
own identity from that.
exactly. And that's when we're getting back into that conformity topic. She
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't stand out as a character for me in 10. I mean, I love her, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm not going to be like obsessed with her as a character until I play 10 too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, I used her. I think, like you said, like her mixing abilities is where I used her the most, in her steel ability. Um, you know, and so I that's about it. I was pretty heavy strong with the four people I talked about before. Um,
Yeah.
but she had some really good things. So
Yeah. There's not much to say about Riku, unfortunately. Yeah, like
Yeah.
she is, from what I remember of 10-2, yeah, she does get her identity. And I mean, very broadly, like I feel like that's kind of the point of 10-2. Everyone kind of gets their own
Yeah.
identity. So like, yo, I don't have to be a summoner anymore because Sin's gone. Let me go hang out and start an idol group. That's fun, right?
Mhm.
Um
yeah,
and so like kind of same thing, yeah, with yeah, Yuna and Riku and all that, but in like Pain's the other one, yeah,
Yes.
who's not even in this. But so cool. Jeez, we're already going long. See, I told you guys this is gonna be a long one. We already talked about Seymour. I don't want to talk about Seymour. We keep hopping around religious expectations and stuff like that. I kind of want to say that now. Let's just do that. Let's just go for it. Um, I have my villain section. I have Seymour. I have Sin. I have Jekt in parentheses because Sin and Jekt, hand in hand to a degree.
Mhm.
But also, Jekt is kind of a villain on his own, just being a jerk, um, being a bad dad. Um, and so that's why he is there, but he like isn't there. That's why he's just kind of in there. But I do want to talk about the original hierarchy and stuff like that, just because we've been dancing around it too long to not actually just talk about it. And so, yeah, let's talk about it. So, um, I talk too much. Who wants to talk about religious hierarchy, expectations, how this game does that stuff? I need to drink
I
some
have
water.
some stuff written down, but I gotta look what I wrote because it's a really good topic, but you
Mm-hmm.
can go into so many different things when it comes to religion, and then we're getting into reincarnation
Yeah,
and all of that too, which I love that topic. That's why Naruto's my favorite anime.
yeah.
Um, but trying to think what I wrote here. Man, I wrote a lot. I go into faith, organized religion, cycles of death and rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
talking about generational trauma, inherited burdens, um, sacrifice and duty. And then you talked about the technology, and I put technology versus spirituality, um, and then identity as a whole.
Yeah.
There's so many topics about the religious aspect in Final Fantasy X, especially when you have different generations and different um ethnicities involved.
And having those spheres, I forget what they're called, like the little
The video
recordings.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having those recordings and seeing like the others' adventures and seeing how they did all this too, and how laissez-faire they were, I guess. Like they were very
Mhm.
like chill in doing this and having fun, which is a weird thing to see, whereas Yuna is the reluctant hero, where like maybe Brosco was that too, but Aaron and Jekt were like having fun more or less. Like
yeah,
they were all enjoying their company. It was just the three bros, the three amigos, three musketeers just hanging out. Like they all really enjoyed their time and enjoyed their company. So much so, that Jekt sacrificed himself and became Sin instead. Um,
Mhm.
and so yeah, that's cool. I realized I have this in two different places. So I did have a place for themes and symbolism here. So yeah, like yeah, I did write down like religious conformity, death and rebirth, identity, because those all are things here. Um, but yeah, it is interesting to see like yeah, the death and rebirth cycle of like I don't want to say that it's stealing things from Final Fantasy VII because it's not, because a lot of these things are, just they exist in other locations, but there are a lot of very similar themes in this game. So much so that I want to say, is it remake, that like you go into um the Shinra building and
Mhm.
there's that like little like history or whatever, and they made, because I think there's a guy named Shinra in Final Fantasy X, and so they kind of retroactively canonize like 10 is the past of 7, and so it's interesting to see like how they are connected that way. But like these are very hand in hand with Death and Rebirth. Having the live stream kind of exist where it's like, yo, you need to pass on so then you can, help the rest of the world grow. Like you said, there is man, I can't think of the thing. What's the thing called? I can't think of words. Words are hard. What is that called? Oh well. That lost me. I lost my words again. It's late. It's not late, but reincarnation. That's the word I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. I know if that's what you're trying to say, or
yeah, no, like
else.
reincarnation is definitely a thing as well. But yeah, it's cool to see just all the things that we've said already. Like I feel like we've danced around the topic enough, but it's interesting to see this in a different lens, especially like, again, this is not a political podcast, obviously, but there are a lot of similarities in 10 to today. Just saying that.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, it does. And so did I maybe enjoy this game a little more just because it hits a little more the home lately? Maybe that's why. And because I feel like I'm doing something. I don't know. Maybe it's just like that kind of false hope of like I'm doing something. I'm helping. I'm fighting the fight. But like, yeah, it definitely is a little more relatable now, and just being older, I think as well. Like I don't think I would. I've talked about this with other games that I've been recently or what have you, but I don't think I would have appreciated this game as a kid. So I'm very glad that I waited.
No, 100%.
I would have just been like, haha, this game's fun. I'm Titus. I'm gonna hit some people. I'm gonna hang out with cool guy Aaron. Oh man, Yuna's kind of cute. Like that's how I would be. That's how I'd just be that. But like now I can see like, oh wow, all the symbolism, all these themes, all these cool things. Also, Yuna is cute. Like there's just so many things about this game to where like there's so much to grab, and that's why it just is enjoyable. Yeah, I don't know. I'm talking in circles. Ben, what do you have to say?
I mean, yeah, I don't think I realized like the points like that you both have hit here until I've played it later on, like, in the last year on my Switch. And I'm like, okay, so I'm starting to see the similarities here. It's definitely like sometimes it feels like, people versus the church. I feel like it is definitely heavy into that, you know? Yeah, I feel like playing it older and like, smarter and that I can see those what you guys are both talking.
When's your dad gonna play this game? I want his opinion on this, being a retired pastor.
You know what the last game? You know what the last thing my game that I know my dad played like hardcore was Tetris for NES.
So he would never touch this. Got it.
No,
we need to make this into a movie, and then he can watch that. Got it.
There is too much going on, and he would just be like, "I am completely confused." I mean,
okay, but you know what movie like I want to compare it to right now? Because I'm new to the series, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Don't say that, because now I'm gonna hate Final Fantasy X.
I actually kind of like Lord of the Rings. I've been putting it off for this long, and I still can't take it seriously because of all the memes that we grew up with. But I was thinking about that when I was writing stuff down for Final Fantasy X. I was like, okay, a pilgrimage. You have all these villains.
Why don't they fly the Aeons?
Moral decisions. I was like, oh, this kind of makes me like Lord of the Rings better, like more.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Lord of the Rings. I tried to be. I'm a fan of The Hobbit, the original.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't like the Hobbit movie.
I like the old one, like the one that Smiling Friends like made fun of, like the old like animated one with the big nose. But yeah, I love that one.
I feel so dated right now. I saw Lord of the Rings in the theaters.
I saw Lord of the Rings in the theaters.
Yeah,
I was old enough, but didn't have an interest in it when I was younger.
Funnily enough, I had same thing with Harry Potter. Like there was a friend of the family who like worked at the church that we went to, and you know, back then people were like, "Oh, these movies are bad for children because it's not church
Yeah,
friendly." Blah blah blah
it's
blah.
witchcraft.
Yeah, and this nice like older like lady who's like essentially like just like a very good friend of the family, she's like, I love these things, I'll take your kid to go see this because I want to see it too and you guys don't want to. And so that's how I got to see like almost all of the Harry Potters like with her. I saw all the Lord of the Rings, I'm pretty sure, with her. Like there's just so many things that I saw because of that. And it's just funny that like because of a church I got to see these things that are not church.
Yeah, it's kind of wild for that time.
Yeah. Um but
I remember.
yeah.
I'll say this real quick. My wife's mom, everything was the devil. It's like Bobby Boucher's mom, and I remember one time. This was like years ago. She was having a conversation with my dad, who was a pastor at this time. He's like, those Harry Potter books are awful. He's like, I've read all the books and plan to see all the movies. They're great. This is the same man that went to go see South Park the movie the weekend it came out. So, I mean, my dad's very um not like he gets it, but like yeah. Uh, I'm sure when my wife listens to this and I explain as her mom being Bobby Boucher's mom and everything's the devil. I know the last conversation I had with her, she was always like, she's like, you let your kids watch Harry Potter? I'm like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, first of all, your wife isn't going to watch this unless one of your kids tells them. So
That is true.
don't do that. Don't do that. Be nice. Be chill. Be chill. So before we get into a couple of the other villains here, mostly just Sin / Jack, I do want to say like growing up in a, I don't want to make it sound bad because it wasn't bad compared to other people, but I grew up in like a Catholicism, like I was like, you know, heavy Catholic. I did a lot of that stuff, like that's what my family was. I didn't go to Catholic school, like thank God, but there is one nearby. But yeah, I didn't go there, but I can definitely see some of these things. I could see these with other families, and like I can put some of these parallels like together with my experiences of seeing from other people. Again, I didn't experience a lot of this. I didn't really experience a lot of the conformity and things like that because I don't know. I don't know why my parents were cool. But like we still went to church, we still all these things, but like I did see a lot of these, not necessarily bad things, but like I can see what religion can do to a person, especially a person who's already corrupt.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyone wants to know, watch The Mighty Gemstones. There you go.
That's true. Or just watch the actual guy, Joel Osteen. Just go watch him.
Oh,
Just go hang out with him and just, I don't know,
oh,
throw eggs at him.
I'm
Oh my
pretty sure
god.
he's not a fan of that show whatsoever.
No, because it's
But
making fun of him specifically.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So let's talk about Sin Inject here really quick, and then we'll kind of do a little bit of fast money. We'll go by really quickly. I don't know why I said fast money. I'm thinking Family Feud. But thinking of Steve Harvey. So Sin Inject. They go hand in hand. But I do want to talk about Sin first. You know, the death and rebirth of Sin always exists. No matter what. So it is very religious, where like you can't defeat sin. Sin can only be removed for X amount of years and then will return, because human beings or Ronzans or like anything, like any sort of people cannot live without sin. So that's an interesting take to see that, and to see Jecht become another Jecht doesn't deserve this praise, but like Jecht is a reluctant Jesus. He does take on sin for all essentially and try to control
Mhm.
sin, try to be sin. And so he does take that burden, and then hopes that you know, Titus will one day actually save the day and has Arn do all that. But yeah, it's interesting to see like a villain who cannot die. And I'm wondering what the repercussions are, because I don't remember, again, I don't remember 10-2. Ben, no spoilers. But with 10-2, sin doesn't exist. Sin should always exist. I don't think you can defeat sin. And so what is in its place now? It's kind of like with we talked about Dragon Ball earlier. It's like, cool, well, you defeated Frieza, what's next? Or cool, you defeated this thing,
Well,
what's next? Like, you know, like there's so many. You can never be free from torment. You can never be free from a looming like threat or doom, which is unfortunate, but that is life. And so with that, I'm kind of just thinking out there, like, yeah, what is going to be next for Final Fantasy X-2? Because clearly Final Fantasy X-2 exists, there has to be a threat, right? So like
Mhm.
either more unsent people, there could be, I don't know, more monsters, there could be um Sin Juniors. I don't know. Like there could be a lot of things. It's like what's his name? Uh, I don't remember his name. I'm thinking about like Advent Children or whatever, like the three brother.
Oh, I
Um,
forgot their names, but
yeah, but
yes,
like
there's
that,
different
the
conformities
yeah, they're
of
like
them.
they're the three who are like, we're also Mako infused guys. We're trying to be, we are the other Sephiroth. We're the Sephiroth juniors essentially.
Not as good as
No,
Sephiroth.
they're not. And so that's why I'm just kind of thinking out loud again, just like, yeah, I wonder what is going to happen, because yeah, I haven't played 10-2 in a while. I'm planning on playing the PS2 version eventually, but I don't know when that will be. Probably next year sometime.
Well, and I could tell you, like, I think I got 2 hours into it, and the costume changing and the things of that, I just couldn't nail. I have not touched it, well, since it came out. Like, I as soon as I heard it came out, I bought it day 1, uh, and I just couldn't get into it. So, the good
Maybe
news is
now
I
you
have
could. Maybe now you
I
could.
mean, yeah,
I mean,
I
yeah.
yeah, I wanna finish 10 again for, like, the
Yeah.
3rd or
I
4th
do
time, but
too.
Yeah. Yeah, I do as well. And now that I've beaten 10 already, you have the Albed dictionary, and so I can know more of the cutscenes at
Yeah.
the beginning, because I have more letters now to actually kind of, I don't know, play Scrabble and understand, or I guess crosswords more, and understand what's missing. Um but yeah, costume changes or job classes, I'm always horrible at job switching in any game, so like I'm not looking
Yeah.
forward to that. I bought was it I almost said Phantom Brave. That's not right, that's an NIS game. What's the game called? Bravely Default, that's the thing. I bought Bravely
Oh,
Default
okay.
2 recently on Switch, because it was on sale at one of the stores, the local stores around here, and so I'm gonna play that eventually. But I I want to say the Bravely Default games are very class heavy, like Final Fantasy 3 and or 3 and 5, I want to say, are the class heavy games. And so I'm not looking forward to that, but who knows? Maybe I just bought a game just sit on the shelf and look pretty. Um but yeah, how you guys feel about Sin first? We can hop in the Ject if you wish, because I know, Michaela, you have thoughts about Ject. Um and so everyone has thoughts about Ject, but everyone has thoughts about Sin. But like I yeah, again, I feel like I'm talking too much. Granted, I'm
No.
the main person of this, but try to engage the conversation. But yeah, who wants to talk? Talk.
Do you want to go, Ben, or you want me to go?
I'll let you go. I'd love to hear your insight on.
Um, I'm hit or miss when it comes to sin, because if we're getting into like the overall meaning of life and elements and whatnot, where you need the good, bad, the yin yang, black and white.
Rava
Um,
and Vatu,
yeah.
Avatar.
It's like I don't necessarily like sin. I don't want sin to exist, but I don't know, I feel like it's kind of needed in a way. Especially when you go into the whole Jack thing. I also compared him to Jesus when I played, especially when you're doing that final fight with Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like when it really hit me. Like I knew the game was religious, but then you get to Jack and you're like, oh well, this is very, very religious.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would love this game. But I feel like it's needed. I feel like as a society, um people need the reminder that there's still good and bad. Because I feel like even if like sin didn't exist and everybody was good and lived in harmony, it's like impossible in my opinion. Like somebody's still gonna turn into that villain, into that darkness, into the world. Like it's impossible in my opinion. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's why sin always comes back and just constantly exists. It's you you have to have it.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion on that kind of outlook with that character or thing.
Yeah. Ben?
I mean, yeah, I feel uh, the thought of like him being like Jesus is new. Like it's very eye opening to myself. Of like, oh, now I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing what you guys are very in depth of what I was thinking. Um, Jet was not a good parent at all.
Mm-mm.
Um, and I feel like for him being so bad of a parent, and he tried to make it up when he was there with Yuna's dad, but it wasn't enough, and therefore became sin. Um, I'm seeing more and more of that with what you said and what you kind of said as well, Alex. Um, you know, it's so great to have these kind of views because if when people are like asking about like Final Fantasy, 10, I'm like, oh yeah, it's this, and this. Very in depth on what both you guys, what you both said there. Um, yeah. So I for me, I was gonna say something like, oh yeah, he's kind of a jerk.
He is
Um,
a jerk.
he is, but like hearing your guys' thoughts on it, I think is much better.
He's a jerk who, in the end, is trying to be a good dad who gets a high five.
Oh, that
Yeah.
part makes me bawl my eyes out.
He gets that high five. Yeah. Um,
Uh,
I don't think I've cried so much at the end of any game ever. That I bawled. I think the
I
most
did
I bawled
not.
before that, and then the most I bawled before that was the end of Old Yeller. That was about
oh,
it.
I don't like Old Yeller, but Crisis Core makes me
Crisis
bawl my
Core
eyes out
every time.
probably more than 10.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 hits me personally. Like I hate Jekt. Like don't get me wrong, I hate Jekt with my whole body. But I don't think he's bad enough to become sin. Like to pay for his sins. Like I don't think
Mm-hmm.
he's bad enough for that. Should have been Seymour. But he was worse in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jekt was a shitty person. Like I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he was bad enough to be sin. But
No.
I think he was doing that to reprimand himself
Yep. I was
for
about to say
being
that.
a terrible dad. Like I feel like he owed that to Titus
Mm-hmm.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
Definitely. Um, yeah, I completely agree with that, and yeah, that's what I was about to say as well. Is like, yeah, he shoulders all of our sins, but by becoming sin, but it's not. It's kind of selfish. It is a.
It is.
It's to be like, well, I was kind of a bad dad. I guess I can do this one thing, but also, son, you have the responsibility of defeating me. Have fun, Aaron. Go get this boy. And that's kind of how it is as well. Like it still is like depending on how you paint it and depending on who you are and what your relationships are with people and how you see this game. But like I see it as a like it is very selfish. Like you can paint this in a different way and be like, no, he did it for everyone. No, he didn't. No, he
No,
didn't.
he
He did
didn't.
it for his own selfish desires to feel like, oh, I got you that one birthday present. So here you go. I hope this car makes up for years of torment or something like that. You know, like that's kind of how it feels. It's like, I don't know, just
No,
like,
I agree. Because
just,
if I was about to die, I would like to reprimand whatever I did and try to be at peace before I go, even though if I'm probably lying to myself
yeah.
in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So, yeah, I really hate Jack as a character. It's too realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely can be for sure. I do want to say really quick because we did kind of skip Seymour, but we did talk about Seymour earlier. Um,
Just, that's all you need to know. Move on.
Seymour, interesting how like it's just nobody cares that they're following a fake person. Like no one cares that not he's not sent, or in the people who don't know the secret are like, there's no way that could be true. There's no way. Like it's very, I don't know, two heads in the ground, you know, just not understanding the realities of the situations. But it is interesting to see like his parents like in the past and see all of that, um and then see how Seymour grew up and is just a big old jerk, big old super jerk. And I'm not surprised that he did end up this way. I'm surprised that he lasted as long as he did, because I
Yeah.
really don't think it was interesting where like halfway through the game you kill him and then he comes back like almost immediately. It's like, okay, so why did we kill you in the first place? Like, I mean, I guess to show that you're now unsent and you still have this grudge against us, but and to show like unsent people can exist. And I think he was one of the first maybe who we saw where it's like, how are you still here? And he started glowing. You're like, oh, unsent people, that's a thing. And I think Aaron kind of explains it as well at that point. But yeah, Seymour, ugh. Anyone else have anything else about Seymour before we get into a little bit more of the nitty
I
gritty?
mean, I feel bad for him in a way because so when I did my playthrough, I didn't do like all the side stuff where you get celestial weapons or you get the other summons.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know the backstory with Anima.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched my friend stream it and I learned about Anima and then it kind of changed my opinion or like my not my opinion but my outlook on him on why
Yeah.
the way he is. I do feel bad for him, but he could have done better from his
Yeah.
experiences.
He could, but at the same time, there's certain, I'm not justifying things he's done, but there's certain things to where like if you're grown up in a certain environment in a certain way that's very conformed, I don't really expect much out of you, and that's a sad thing to say.
No, exactly, because they're just that's what they know.
Yeah. Like unless kid version of Seymour finds out that there's more to life at a certain point, then he's just always going to be sheltered and just not understand what he's doing. And so like he is a tragic villain in that sense, but he is also just gross. So
I agree. And I will never
Yeah.
forgive him for kissing Yuna.
I know, right? That's for Titus. All right, anything else, anyone else have anything about Seymour before we go into gameplay and get a little more in depth on that? Okay, cool. This is a big old podcast. I love it. I want to say for the people at home listening, I made a document that has screenshots and stuff. None of you are gonna see this. I did this for me. So I don't know why I did it like this. I was just in the zone. And I was just like, I'm gonna do this, and I copy paste and put things here and take screenshots here and there of playthroughs and all that. And it's like cool. Yeah, like right now we're in the section where it says gameplay and mechanics. I have an early a screenshot of attacking and like the way that the battle system is, and then I have one for the sphere grid as well. So anyway, combat. Conditional turn based instead of active time battle, active turn based. Interesting. I like this a lot better because then speed stats and things kind of matter to a degree, because essentially the way that CTB, from what I've read, from how it works, is that like everyone has their own speed stats and stuff, right? And so the game should roughly always put everyone in that order for the beginning. So the turns are roughly always the same unless you give someone like extra speed, or unless you're slower than another thing. So you should always see that. Use haste. That's my answer. First of all, just use haste. Use Hasteska. Use something like that, and you don't have to worry about speed because you'll just be way too fast for everything. But it is different because, like, yeah, there is still like, you know, the bar, how it goes, and then you can start attacking and all of that. But there is the turn. You see the turns on the right, and you see that in later other games too. Like you see that, or maybe in early games. I don't. Persona. I know Persona 2 does this. I don't know if Persona 1 does it, but 3, 4, 5, they have that as well, roughly. Like you can either see it in the corner, or you can like kind of infer by looking at how things work. And then another game that does that, oh man, now I just forgot what it was. Metaphor does that, which is more, you know, it's a Persona type game. But yeah, there are quite a few games that do that sort of combat. So what do you all think about the way that the combat specifically right now, having Digimon, that was the other thing I was trying to think of, like Cyber Sleuth, something like that. It has something in the top right where you can see it. It's conditional battles as well. So like, yeah, how did you guys enjoy that overall? I personally like seeing like who's next, and then getting the actual immediate feedback of, cool, my Haseska actually did something, or I slowed this person down and it actually did something, instead of seeing that, hey, slow cast and nothing moved. So it was cool to see that kind of stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think of this particular part of the combat?
Do you want to go, Ben?
Yeah, sure. When I played this game for the first time, I had never played a role playing game really. Um, so for me, it was good to have this type. So I could see, like you said, on the one side, I could see all of, okay, so I know it's first it's Yuna, Lulu, then walk up, right? And then I also know that if I casted haste or anything like that, then those change and it says boss or enemy, you know. So I think for me starting out, it was great to see that, you know, there. And that I think it's, you know, it, for combat wise, I loved the combat in this game, um, because of just the way it was and that. But again, like I had never really played any role playing games at this point. I mean, the closest would be Zelda, you know?
Pokemon.
So, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I played Pokemon. I played Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, like on a big console like that. So I really enjoyed it. And plus, like, you know, and it was nice when you switch them out. It switched them out on the other side, like you said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. Michaela?
I love the combat because I was gonna bring up Pokemon because that was like the only I only grew up with Nintendo. So and I mainly played Pokemon, so I'm old. I love turn based. Because I attempted Final Fantasy X when I first started streaming. I played it for like 2 streams.
I remember that.
And I was really bad at the combat because I did not understand it as my first Final Fantasy game, and it being different than Pokemon. So I quit. I only tried it like 2 times and I quit because I was really confused. And then playing it a year and a half ago, I have never been better at a game before than Final Fantasy X. Like the combat was meant for me. I was so good at it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna toot my own horn. I was so good at it. I'm like, I would beat Seymour in like 1 or 2 hits when I played it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna brag. I love the combat. The people who complain about Final Fantasy X and say I don't play it because the combat, it's like, yeah, because you're not good at it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because it is a hard game if you don't pay attention and you don't get your characters leveled up
Mm-hmm.
correctly on the sphere grid and actually learn how to bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard game. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I had a great time with the combat. Like that's why I want to replay it, is for
Mhm.
the combat alone.
Yeah, get that platinum trophy.
Oh, I want to so bad. I wish I had time.
I kind of want to as well, because like now, because the way I played it, I played the PS2 version, so I need to get myself a PS4 copy, try this HD remaster, see more of the differences firsthand, and yeah, do a lot of the extra stuff that I just didn't get to do, because I did some of it, but yeah, I would love to have an excuse to play more of this game, but you know, time. What is time?
I
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, so I do want to bring up, so I wanted to say the first part first, and then we can do the other 3 kind of all at the same time. The strategy of switching out characters. Someone explained it to me. It was like older Pokemon, and that's when it clicked for me.
Yeah.
Because especially the game doesn't tell you this, and they told me, and like from what I've seen, what I've heard from like other people, like the game doesn't tell you this, but triangle is your defend button. I don't think the game actually tells you.
No, it doesn't.
And so I learned that if you, like I was saying earlier when talking about our characters, I'll switch out Arn with Riku, have Riku just defend, because sometimes defend is just fast. It's faster than doing an attack. And so you might get just another turn with Riku. Then you can just hop back out, get someone else, and then just kind of have everyone do an action at least once so they get AP for the battle. And so I was doing that for every single battle. I was, if I had, let's see, Tidus, Waka, Yuna, Lulu, Kimari. Like those are like the main ones you have for a bit in the beginning. I would be switching out and being like, all right, it's time for Lulu to, I don't know, Lulu was too powerful at that point or something. So I'd be like, all right, Lulu, you just need to just guard or something. And then same thing with Waka, or like, Waka, you take out one of these enemies, and so there's just one enemy left, and then we're all doing guards or whatever until finally I'm ready. Okay, has everyone done their action? Cool. Now we can defeat this enemy, and then we all get the AP. I really liked playing that game, that aspect of it, where it's it feels rewarding switching everyone out. Like, yeah, it's a little tedious, but it feels rewarding like old Pokemon. Like, I feel like new Pokemon just gives you
All
EXP.
shared experience.
Yeah,
Yep.
it does. It changes the game, and it changes the game maybe for the better for competitive. Because like the game's very made. These games are now made to be like, all right, get your Pokemon high level so that you can go play in a tournament. Whereas back when it used to be, all right, play a single player game experience that has multiplayer elements. And so yeah, I really did enjoy this aspect of the game. It felt like I was playing like a Gen 3, like Fire Red, Leaf Green type experience here, switching out my people and giving everyone experience and going for it. But we did talk about some stuff here. So yeah, like white, black magic spells. We already talked about specials and skills roughly. The Aeon summoning. During my playthrough, I got every single Aeon. And so I was able to get like the Mega Sisters and all of them as well, which were annoying. They're cool, but they're annoying. Michaela, how many of the summons did you get? Did you end up getting all of them, or were you missing like the Mega Sisters?
I just kept what you got in main game.
Okay.
And I did not get Yojimbo.
Oh right, yeah, I had enough money, thankfully. So
I
Right.
did not, and then I was like everybody told me, they're like, "No, go back, go get enough money to get Yojimbo," and then when I looked it up and I found out you had to pay him every time he fought, I was like, "Heck no, I can beat the game without Yojimbo, I'm cheap." So, even in games, I'm cheap.
Yeah.
So I did it without him, and I'm kinda glad I did it
Hmm.
that way.
Oh yeah, he's super expensive. And
Mhm.
you do all the battles to get to him. And like Alex said, if you don't have enough money, you have to go back out and grind even more
Yeah.
or sell off a bunch of stuff to get the money. Um, I'm kind of like with you, Alex. I had everybody.
Hmm.
Um, that was my first playthrough. I bought the strategy guide and kind of cheated a little bit. Uh, but I thought it was important to have all of them, including, you know, Seymour's. So, you know, and you're right. The sisters are super annoying.
Yeah, they are very annoying, especially when you use them and you can't really just direct them to do an attack. You have to be like, do you want to do this? And then they might do it, they might not. Like, there's just different ways of how they interact and react. And you click the same thing, maybe they'll do the attack you want. Maybe they'll heal you. I don't know. Like, it feels very random of what they do. And but they're so powerful that when they do hit, oh boy, it does a lot of damage. Um, it's really cool to see that. So I do want to. I might skip around a little bit to be honest, because I feel like we're going a little long. But the sphere grid system, and I do kind of want to bring that up with white magic, black magic. So yeah, so in my playthrough, in my experience, I had Yuna, yeah, have Ultima.
Mhm.
Yuna had
Mhm.
Ultima. Yuna had Holy. Yuna had
Oh,
her
I love
celestial
Holy.
weapon at the end. Um, Lulu had Ultima, and Tidus had Ultima. Why not?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so like the sphere grid's really cool on how it works. I'm glad that I used it well enough, I would say, and really did save my spheres and like waited until later because like I needed for the end, I needed like a zombie strike or something. And so I had, because for Sin, for Jekt, um, he can be infected with zombie. And so then you can like use like healing on him. And
Mhm.
so near the end, I used one of like the friendship spheres or something like that to move um Tidus to where Aaron was or whatever. And then they could both get zombie strike together and then like moves people like that, or have one of like the black magic spheres where like, oh, I can steal a spell that someone else already has unlocked. So that's how I got like Ultima, um or I moved Yuna over there, or moved Lulu over there with Yuna. Because like Yuna, I felt like was pretty stacked as far as the sphere grid system went. Overall, yeah, I feel like I did the sphere grid well. You can definitely mess it up. Like I've
Mhm.
seen people mess it up. But I I feel like I did well, especially for a first time. I know other games do these sphere grid stuff in like later on. Like I know 16 kind of has a sphere grid with its summons and stuff like that. I know. Um, and there's other like RPGs and stuff that kind of have similarities to like sphere grids, but for what this was and how it's complicated, but like if you're looking at it in objectively, it's perfect. I think it is.
Mhm.
Um, it's just really cool to customize any character how you want. It doesn't make sense. You can make Aaron a black and white magic user if you really wanted to. It doesn't make any sense. That'd be really, really stupid, but you could do it. Why not?
Mhm.
It's like with I'll go. I'll be rough. I won't say spoilers or anything, but for Final Fantasy VI, the way the magic works in that, you can give characters a certain item. I'll say, and those items, like as you fight, you get AP, and then you just kind of gain spells. So every single character in Final Fantasy VI can, except 2 who don't really learn anything, can learn every single spell. So everyone can just cast Ultima. And so I really like that in this game as well, where like, yeah, if you really wanted to, you took the time and you played and played and played and played, you could fill out the whole sphere grid if you really wanted to. You could do and have everyone cast Ultima. You could have everyone just be super well rounded. I think that's awesome. So what do y'all think about the sphere grid? How was your experience with that? Michaela, especially coming in, like you played this initially and you didn't understand the game, but you also probably didn't understand the sphere grid depending on how far you got.
God, no.
And so like coming into it as a second time, did you understand it more, or just having certain help from other people like really just helped the experience?
I definitely, in the beginning when I replayed it, because that was my biggest like stressor with Final Fantasy X as a new player, because I knew people before messed up the sphere grid and then had to restart the game. And that was like, oh, I was so stressed out. I was trying really hard not to mess it up. So like the first week I played it, I definitely asked for help because I was just like, I don't understand, like, is there a designated path I'm supposed to follow? And then I found out more and more that you can go whichever way you want. It is a pain in the butt to backtrack, though. I did that a few times where I accidentally went the wrong way. And I was like, oh, shoot, now I gotta backtrack and waste my items. So I did that a couple times, even when I was like towards the end of the game, I still goofed up. I love the sphere grid though. But yeah, like that first initial week, I was really stressed out and paranoid about goofing it up. Cause yeah, I've soft locked myself in plenty of JRPGs and paid the price of restarting it over. I really didn't want to do that with Final Fantasy X. But I love the sphere grid, but I probably loved it more the second time around because of Xenoblade with their grid system kind of being similar. I mean, you're more forced to, go linear with that. But I was just like, oh, like you see how much it actually helps you when you dedicate your time to it and actually pay attention.
You said the magic word, so now I want to ask this, and maybe I'll clip it out. I'm gonna 152. What's a better game, Final Fantasy X or any of the Xenoblades?
Oh, I have 10 higher on my list than Xenoblade 2.
Okay, so we're in the minority of Xenoblade, liking Xenoblade 2 more.
I know, I get.
They're like, it's dumb anime
about that all the time,
and it's like, yeah, I like it.
But I love that. I grew up with only anime, so like 2's the perfect game. But 1 is such a close tie with me for 2. Like 1's so good.
Once you get over that hump.
Yes, that's why I, took a long break at that halfway point of 1. 1 has a really, really good story, but 2's characters, I need those 2 games to go together more. But I have to pick Final Fantasy X, but if I'm comparing Final Fantasy as a whole with Xenoblade, I would pick Xenoblade, if I'm being honest.
So before we get into this, I know this is a podcast about Final Fantasy X. I want to say this right now. Michaela, it is your fault that I own all these games now.
They're so good.
Well, because I thought I played Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, got about third of the way through, halfway through, and I did not like it. Granted, blocky,
I didn't like the Wii one
blocky
either.
Wii, whatever. And so I thought that was that. And I've owned Xenogears forever. And then play Xenoblade. And then I see you playing Xenoblade on Switch. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we'll give it another chance. If I buy a Xenoblade at my local Target, play Xenoblade, still not really enjoying it. Seeing you kind of like in kind of the same way, at least in the beginning. Once you get over that hump, halfway point, I'm like, oh, it's Neon Genesis Evangelion. All right, then I'm sold.
Yep.
And so the story is just so much better than the gameplay, that then I got into that, and then I got into 2, and then I got into 3, and I have X, and I have all the Xenosaga games now. I have Japanese Xenosaga things. I have art books. I have strategy guides. It's all your fault. So I'm gonna send you an
But
itemized bill later on.
but it's fair if you like Xenoblade, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, because you have the same people that worked on both.
That's yeah,
So
it's true. I mean,
to me,
Xenogears.
Xenoblade's like the predecessor of Final Fantasy. I think that's why it worked so well.
Yeah, and I mean, like Xenogears was made, and it was originally gonna be Final Fantasy VII. They're like, whoa, this is too dark.
Yep.
And so it became what it was and got messed up in the end. But I love Xenogears so much. Xenogears is still my number one out of all of those.
See, I still gotta play that one, but
You will
I
not
know
like
it
it,
had
but you will
I
not
know
like
it's
the
hard to
combat.
play,
Yeah.
but I know it has the religious aspects like Final Fantasy X, so that's why I'm
Yes.
interested in Xenogears. But see, this is why we like Final Fantasy and the Xeno
I
series,
guess
because they're similar.
they are very similar. 3 is the worst one. I don't like Noah. All right.
I don't
Ben,
either.
Ben, what do you think about the Sphere Grid?
I mean, I'm kind of like at a loss right now because I only owe 2 and 3 for Switch,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
you
haven't
do.
played them. I haven't played them because I haven't found one yet. So, no, Spear Grid. I love you the fact that you both have said if you don't do the Spear Grid right, you have to restart the game. That has happened to me before.
Oh.
Where you get to a point you're like, I did this all wrong. I'm not leveled where I need to be to do these battles that are going forward. So I've had to like start fresh. And I'm like, 20 hours in. Um, you know, it's rough, but I think what you understand, like how the spear grid is, you use it a couple times, you're like, okay, and then you start getting more items so you could do more with it.
Mhm.
I think it gets better to understand. And it goes back to what I said earlier about the strategy, you know, the whole time when you're on this thing, you're thinking of strategy for your characters, how they're going to work, how they're going to work together um, through battles. How do you want them to do? Um, so I think it's really well. And for my first time in a, role playing game like this, it was good. Like once
Mhm.
I understood it and I understood this is how it works, I was off to the races. Yes, did I have a hiccup at the beginning? I sure did, but I didn't mind starting it over. Now, if I've screwed something up, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be done. So
If you mess up, and because I don't know how this works on the HD remasters or whatever, if you mess up and you've already grabbed Albed dictionary things, does that save in a separate place? So if you do restart, do you get to see like more of those letters then in those cutscenes? At least, so you do get something out of that, right?
I don't
I
know.
don't
Because I know
know.
like so for PS2, the Albed dictionary is a separate save, it looked, from the actual game
Oh, the
itself.
HD.
So
Okay.
so at least in the original PS2. So I don't know if the HD works like that too. Like if
I don't
every
know.
playthrough, or does it have to be a new game plus? Because it looks like, from what I've seen, it just kind of reads like, "Hey, what's your memory card? All right, I found an Albed dictionary. Let me update it." So it seems like it really
I
is its own
think
separate thing.
I think it's New Game Plus
Okay.
for the remaster, but I might be wrong, but that's the way I interpret it in my playthrough.
Okay. Interesting. So I promised that this would be less than 2 hours, but here we are, almost at the 2 hour mark. Let's go a little quicker. And we're gonna skip some things on this list because we kind of just already talked about things just overall. So I want to skip over to just visuals and art direction here. Just really quick. Pre-rendered cutscenes look amazing. Like, yeah, they're very
Yeah.
uh grainy for the PS2 version, but like it still looks amazing. I mean, I have the screenshot here of Tidus doing the Jack shot or whatever, like in the
Mhm.
beginning. The water effects of the sphere, like of like the whole blitzball area, looks amazing. Oh yeah, we barely talked about blitzball. Blitzball's a thing. And yeah, I think this game looks great. I think the in-engine stuff looks okay for the most part. The difference between the PS2 version and the HD remasters are the faces, the facial capture. The thing that the back of the PS2 box says is real-time facial expressions, and so you can really tell that like someone was being like The Last of Us, you know, like they were capturing facial expressions,
Yeah.
like they were actually mocapping a lot of that. But then in the HD remasters, um, everyone's heads kind of like shrunk, and the facial features weren't as prominent, and because of that, it just felt kind of generic. It made the game feel older than it actually is.
Yeah.
Um, but like otherwise, like I feel like the game looks great, the world looks great, character
Mhm.
designs. I love the character designs for a lot of them. Um, how you all feel about the overall art direction and visuals for this game?
Mm, trying to think what I feel overall. I mean, at that time, it's kind of crazy how they went from like Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 9, and then we get like those cutscenes in 10.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish I could experience it back in 2001 as a kid and get like the movie quality
Yeah,
in a game like that. Like I would have been mind blown.
that's Kingdom Hearts for
But
me though.
yeah, but even like what freaking 24 years later, I feel like that game still really holds up graphic wise
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't know. I really like it. I didn't have complaints about graphics cuz that's like the first thing I complain about
Mm-hmm.
when I play an older game is whether it hurts my eyes or not looking at it graphically,
Mm-hmm.
and I personally didn't have any complaints with 10.
Cool.
I think when I pop this in and you get to the whole scene where they're going into the arena, to me, I was like, this is the best looking graphics I've ever seen in a game. I felt like it was watching a movie. Um,
We're watching
you
Spirits
know,
Within.
yeah,
Oh gosh.
no, no. But like, yeah, I thought the visuals were fine for the time. It is seeing it now, it definitely looks dated. Um, but you have to appreciate it for what it was, you know, back then. Back then, it pushed the system to higher levels than it probably could have. I know that my PlayStation 2 got very loud. Um, it was pushing it. So, you know, I compare it to um playing some of the higher end games on a PS4. If you had the original PS4 that came out when it came out, and you try playing the newest Final Fantasy on
Jet Engine.
PS4, yeah, that thing sounded like a Harrier jet.
Yep.
All right. My PS2 wasn't that bad, but it still pushes the envelope of what this console can do and pushing the levels.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. You did bring about like how like this looks really good and everything. Um, even still today. I'm curious if this game did happen today, if a lot of these pre-rendered cutscenes would kind of be in engine,
mhm.
because the
Mm.
way that a lot of graphics and stuff work nowadays, like you could probably do a lot of like these pre-rendered cutscenes and make them just in-engine cutscenes. Um,
I think so.
and so that'd be
Yeah.
really cool if they did. I mean, they don't like remaking Final Fantasy games, but they could remake this game.
I
Um,
wish they would.
but I feel like because it already had a remaster, I think it kind of just takes it off the table, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but so we already talked about that. We already talked about that. So the kind of last things I want to talk about here, and then we'll kind of end it because I feel like my notes actually kind of repeat themselves. That's what happens when you do notes in the middle of the night. So I want to talk about the sound design, but mostly the music. Um, the composers for this are Uematsu, but Uematsu didn't really do much. I know he did the To Xanarken, but I want to say Hamazu and Nakano. I think they did a lot of the other songs because I know I've heard where Uematsu like I know for sure did To Xanarken or something like that, but didn't do a lot of the others.
Mhm.
Music in this game is great. I really do like the Suteki Dane song that plays when Titus and Yuna are in the lake and they have a
Oh
romantic
yeah,
moment. That was the part that made me cry.
That's such a good
The
moment.
only part in that game though, nothing else did, which is funny.
Oh, not even the
No.
video that Yuna leaves behind?
Oh, okay, almost.
That, that was when it broke me, and I was like, "This is my favorite game of all time."
That's reminding me of the Simpsons movie because now that the Simpsons movie 2 has been announced while I'm dating this, where it's Marge writing a video and being like, "Homie, I'm leaving, and to prove
Yep.
that it's real, I taped over our wedding video." And then Why Do Birds Finally Appear plays. I love that scene. That scene's really good. But like, yeah, you're right. That scene in Final Fantasy X is very good too and very heart.
Yeah, it
Um,
was too realistic at that point because it's like, "Oh, their journey and stuff," and then
yeah.
she leaves that behind, and I was just like, "I hate this game."
Yeah, definitely. And
Uh,
but yeah, a lot of this music is great. I know we did have an episode a while back about our top music in video games and stuff. Jack's boss fight was actually one of Ben's choices.
So
Um
good.
and
it
so
was.
that was a fun time. So I know that's Ben's answer. Um but I don't know a lot of the specific names of the songs, but what all overall did you all think about the music in this game compared to say the other Final Fantasies or other RPGs in general?
Ooh, that's a good question because I love the music from Final Fantasy VII
Hmm.
and Final Fantasy VI, even though I've never played 6, but I listen to that soundtrack a lot. But I love 10's probably the most. Actually, no, I'm gonna say it's tied with Final Fantasy 16 because 16's is so, like, theatrical and,
Yeah,
like,
it is.
dramatic. I love it. Like, I feel like I'm, like, going into the pits of hell when I listen to
It's
16's
very
music.
Games of Thrones-ish.
Yeah, I love it. Like, it gives me, like, a rush. But 10's is the opposite. It's very, like, melancholy and, like, slow and, like, it's sad and depressing, and it's just, 10 puts me in my feels, but I love it. But, yeah, it's tied with me with 16 if we're talking about another Final Fantasy game. But I love too Xanarkin because you hear that in the title screen when you're first starting the game, and then you finish the game, and
Hmm.
then it goes back to it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it makes me very emotional because when you first hear it, you don't really think about why you're seeing that scene
Hmm.
and why that song is so sad, and then you finish it and you're like, "Oh, that's why it sounds the way it does." But, yeah, I
Yeah.
can I can talk about the music from 10 all day.
One of my favorite songs is when you're walking through the ruins of Xanarken. I don't remember what that song is called,
Oh, I
but
love that one
that
too.
one's probably my favorite besides, just To Xanarken and
It's
the
like
Suteki Dane one.
the calm before the
Yeah.
storm, that's the way I describe it.
Yeah.
I love that one.
I like playing that one, or I like it. And then you can experience it in Theater Rhythm, but it's one of the walking levels, and
Yeah.
I don't like those walking levels. Um, but um, but yeah, those are great songs. But yeah, Ben, besides Jack's boss fight, like
You
what's
know, the song that I really like besides that one. So when you start the game and they're all just kind of sitting there,
yeah.
that music that plays at the very, very beginning, love that. It's like it's very calm. It's very like, you know, um soothing. And it goes to kind of show you like I think this is when we started paying attention more about composers and who's doing the music for video games because I don't think if anybody, and I hate to use Super Mario Brothers 3, it's one of my all-time favorites. Looking at the composer for that music there, how he had to do it, it's crazy that those songs are in that game. And I kind of feel like that with this too. You had music in games, but this just blew my mind the first time I heard it. Um, yes, Jet's boss fight is just a masterpiece, but that beginning when you hit start and they're all kind of sitting there and you see all their weapons, that song there, I just get chills every time. Um, it's like, all right, we're gonna start this up and we're gonna have an adventure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I sounded like Jake, but
Listen,
that's
listen to my story.
I mean that's what if it this game is definitely along the lines of um the blockbuster movies, like the big,
Yeah.
huge budget movies. That's where it is. And they didn't really spare any expenses, whether it was the cutscenes or the music.
Mhm.
The whole game's music is great. And the other thing I will say is you never get bored of some of the same music being played over and over. That's the key.
Yes, I like really quick. I do like the main battle theme in this game more than Final Fantasy VII's battle theme. I said it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love both. That's a tie for me.
I get
But
this one. I
I
get less annoyed with.
I would probably pick Chrono Triggers over both of those.
Oh yeah, well, obviously.
But that's a different Square Enix game. But I was just like, oh, Chrono Triggers is so good.
It is a great game. I don't really have much else to say. We can talk about our conclusion. I mean, we already said that this is what we rate it and everything like that. Will we play other games in the future? 10-2, is on the horizon. I'll play that eventually. Maybe we can all play that and meet back in like a year and a half or so. And see how we feel about that game. If we end up just not rage quitting because of the class system stuff.
I know. It's why I haven't started it because I know it's gonna be. I have to dedicate myself to finish it.
Yeah, having the expectations and the streaming as well, like that can definitely make or break a game,
Yeah.
especially with a game where like, why aren't you playing it this way, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't like when games have
People,
too many options, and it makes it hard to
Yeah,
stream them or enjoy them sometimes to their fullest.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's the hardest part. And I know you stream, but like when I'm watching you stream, most of the time I'm doing like 12 other things. And but it's nice because like, watching you play some of these games. But then I always see in the comments there's always like one person that's like, why didn't you do this? Why did you do that? I mean,
I don't want to.
Go talk to
That's
this
literally what I tell them. I don't want to.
go talk to this random specific person in Riga Goes to Yakuza 0. I really like this side quest. Do this side quest, please. Do it.
Yeah, people I get it. They don't want me to skip things
But
or
they're
maybe
optional
do
on purpose.
They are.
So
They're optional on purpose. I can always go back. But
yeah,
yeah, it's any JRPGs are just it's hard with other people.
it
and
is.
that is why I'm so glad when I played Persona 4 Golden, I didn't stream. I played it on my own just because but I did experience, I think I got the best ending for the
You
game.
did.
So,
I'm very proud of you.
yes, I know. Thank you. And it's funny because I always joke with Alex. I'm like, man, I had this for my Vita, had it for a week, and I'm like, this isn't me. Traded it in, and now that I got to play it again, I'm like, man, did I miss out?
I've
Totally
done
missed
that with a
out.
few games too.
It's my fault. So I
Mhm.
guess I paid it forward. Michaela made me buy all these Xenoblade things. I made you play Persona. So maybe you'll make me buy Ghosts again, Ben. So maybe it'll just never ending
I
circle
have
here.
that too. I need to play it.
Yeah.
So really quick, funny thing that this is dated. PlayStation announced this thing, so they take certain games if you played a certain amount of the game, you got the platinum, and you do this, you have access to buy a thing. So they did
I
that for
saw
Ghost,
those.
right? Yeah, as soon as I logged in, they
Oh.
were like, "You have definitely hit your limit." Like, I hit everything. I don't know if you know this, Michaela, I platinumed the game on PS4, and then when the
Uh-huh.
PS5 version came out, bought it, did not transfer save data, I platinumed it a second time.
Oh my god.
And I only have 2 platinums for myself personally. Those.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The
So
obsession is real.
I hear that game's
yeah,
really good. I got it like a year and a half ago and I still haven't started, but then when Ghost of Yote got announced, I was like, I really need to play this series.
prepare to be upset. It's very not Yote, but the other there's sad moments.
Yeah.
Not to
I love that though. I
Yeah.
like when a
yeah,
game makes me feel things.
Yes. Exactly.
I
Like
need
Final Fantasy
that.
X.
exactly like
Yes.
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X makes us feel things, for sure. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here because we've already been going for a bit. We have other things to say, but who cares? We've talked a lot. I appreciate
We
everyone for
covered
being here.
everything.
We covered a lot of things. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we can go more in depth by also known as just circling conversations and just saying the same thing over and over again, but with different words. I'm really good at that.
I
So
am too.
so like yeah, we could definitely do that forever, but we're not. Instead, what we're gonna do, I don't know when this is coming out, but this is a holiday episode. So again, happy holidays. If this came out in December, happy holidays there. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know. Maybe this is the thanks. Actually, I think this might be one of the Thanksgiving episodes. So happy
I think it is.
Thanksgiving. But we appreciate you. Stay tuned for more holiday episodes happening. Remember, we are not here. I almost said physically. When we're not, but we're also like we're not actively uploading new episodes in November and December. They're all pre-recorded, and so those will come out. And then in January, mid-January, I think that's when we're doing another live. So we will do another live stream, and maybe we'll make Michaela join us again. And we'll talk about how why we hate Xenoblade 3 because that video did very well. I don't really have anything else to say. Again, thank you for everyone for stopping by. Ben, do you have anything else to say?
Just to get at it and happy holidays.
Get at it. Michaela, you have to say it.
Oh, get at it.